Thank you, Denara.
Next speaker, Raul Rivera.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Good afternoon, Chair Doe. My name is Raul Rivera. I'm a New York native. I'm a TLC driver. I'm a TLC driver advocate. I'm the founder of NYC Drivers Unite, the only group in New York City seeking the reform of the Taxi Limousine Commission. In my hand, I have a petition. It doesn't have all the answers. It's basic. It's a tool that we use to fight. This petition has one major point, and that is to put a cap on this license. We want to bring respect back to this license. We want to bring value back to this license. We want Uber to know. We want the rideshare companies to know that they cannot deactivate us. We want value on this license. If you put a cap on this license, you slow it down, the drivers are going to make money. The only ones that are making money right now is this commission. It's $250 for this license. Mr. Eric Adams, our mayor, signed this petition. His signature is right here. And many other elected officials signed. We ask that you respect his name. Stand on your feet. Do that. We'll stand with you. End this madness. We got to block this license. We got to cap it. We're not saying that you come from Nepal or if you come from China. Yes, you can be a driver, but get on a waiting list. We can't hand it out like it's candy. It has to stop. We got to bring value to it. I don't know how many times I got to say it. We also have bills. We have bills drafted. We have bills drafted by the city council from this petition to put 2 drivers on that panel to represent us. All right? I speak as a New Yorker. I speak as a driver with over 23,000 trips. I'm not an Uber driver. I'm not a Lyft driver. I'm a New York City Taxi Limousine Commission driver. Save my license.
Thank you, Raul.
Next up is Andrew Greenblatt. He'll be followed by Johan Fulgencio and Alpha Barry.
Hi, still morning? Yep. Hi, good morning. I'm Andrew Greenblatt. I'm the policy director for the Independent Drivers Guild. I did prepare a written statement I was going to read, but I think I'm going to go off script and I'll just email this to you. So 2 major points I'd like to make, a small one and a big one. So the small one is while the raise is absolutely necessary and we appreciate that you're doing it, it has a flaw in it, and that flaw is that the moment you put that raise into place, you just barely reach the floor of minimum wage. And then for the next 12 months, inflation gets us below the floor. And so for almost all the time, workers aren't making minimum wage. You need to account for that when setting the rate, knowing that inflation's going to eat at that for the next 12 months. And you got to start higher than the minimum wage if you're only going to reset it once every 12 months. Okay, the next point I want to make is about the lockouts, and I'm going to echo a little bit of what Raul said, but I'm going to explain it in a little different way. When the minimum wage was first created, it had in it this flaw that we can fix. We can fix this flaw, and that is the whole system is set up on supply, demand, and utilization, right? It all spins around those 3 things. And when you raise pay, the supply of workers increases. More people want to drive. Look, it's making better wages. And people who have their license drive more hours because they make more per hour, okay? So supply goes up, but demand does not go up. So you have more people on the road chasing the same number of rides. And because of that, utilization goes down. Now, the only tool you've used so far to deal with that is to raise pay again, which just continues the cycle. Raise the pay, keeps the drivers coming out, doesn't do anything to increase demand. The solution that Raul and a number of other drivers just talked about is you have to limit the number of drivers coming out. Now, the companies have been doing that by lockouts, which is brutal and just completely messes up people's lives. People who have invested thousands and thousands of dollars to become drivers and rely on this work to pay their bills suddenly and randomly get locked out. There is a better system. The TLC can say, whoa, 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 whoa. When utilization drops to a certain point, we're just going to throttle supply. We're not going to let any more people get their TLC licenses. And that's how you make sure, that's how you defend utilization. You defend utilization and keep it high by throttling supply. This is, basic economics, right? Supply and demand, this is how it works. And I want to say that, and I want to say why we are very appreciative of the new winds of change that we've seen since Chairman Doe has come into place. And it has been remarkable, and we are very appreciative of that. And I appreciate James, who is a wonderful staff member, and you are lucky to have him. I take exception with his point that the TLC has no role to play in the lockouts. The role is you create the market in which drivers exist, passengers exist, and the companies exist. And if you create a market that doesn't regulate the supply of drivers, you're going to either have this spiral of too many drivers, not enough passengers, or the companies are going to respond with lockouts. But you can fix that. If you don't feel like you have the legal authority to do it, please let us know. We will stand shoulder to shoulder with you and go to Albany and get you that authority. It is a two-line bill, and we will be there with you.
Hey, thank you, Angela. Good to see you.
Very much.
Adam signed the petition. You signed the petition. We want to know that his name means something. We want to know that his name means something. Direct Leroy Adams.
Great. Our next speaker,
Stand by your name.
excuse me, our next speaker is Johan Fulgencio.